Hi, this is a little rant because people are talking about free will again, and been talking about this for 4 or 5 years or something on here. And I've said something that I'm getting tired of it not being taken into account. I say that the question of free will and unfree will is not the question. Of course it's not free. Nothing's unfettered. The idea you think free and you go, it has no restrictions. Well, everything in the universe has some restrictions, so nothing's free in that sense. And things, and their opposite go together like a connection and a separation. If you have two charged spheres immersed in a conductive gas and they're 3 feet apart, they're separated by 3 feet of gas. They're also connected by that, right? And so sometimes things in their opposite, Christian God and Satan, they're not really opposites at the opposite ends of everything, as opposite as you can be. No, they're two poles of Christianity. You cannot... and then people are like, I know what you're thinking. When I think willpower, to me, it's the same idea as free will. It's just the terms. No, it's not. See, things can generate power that aren't free. Like the engine in your car, you don't consider that free just because it can generate power. It is a separate question. The problem is you're stuck on the old concept as well. You can't get this idea of things. Nothing is, your concept of free is broken. Your concept of free is broken. So you're asking this question that only arises because of the concept of free. The real issue of will is, are there more than one possible future? And specifically, can we do anything to affect navigation between the possibilities? That's the question. And I don't see how the concept of free even comes into that. Free to choose. No, you're not even free to choose. You exert power. If the car energy exerts power, it doesn't mean the car is going to move forward. Maybe it's not in gear, or maybe it's crashed into a wall. Or it's a separate question. The flow of power, and if there's a power that should be named will, and then getting down to, well, what kind of power is that? Like there's power in radio waves. There's a power radiated off of the sun, and there's a power radiated from, a fire. And we could ask, fire, the word fire. You don't say fire doesn't exist because it's really photons, it's really infrared photons that you're feeling. The sun doesn't really exist because it's not the sun, it's, right? We give those names, we keep investigating, and we unify later on. We find out, oh my God, these things are related. Okay, so the question with will is there some force helping us navigate actual possibilities? Right? And by the way, the willpower thing, it's not even mine. It's a Nietzschean thing. He says the question of free and unfree will. In the moment I read that, and I'm not even agreeing with everything else I'm reading in the book at the time, and I read that and I go, wow, that's a really good point. And from that moment on, I have never forgotten that aspect of the question of will. I don't know how you guys, 100% of you, can ignore the fundamental importance of that point to this question for 4 or 5 years. I don't get it. You want to be stuck in an enigma. I mean, I like enigmas, but I love trying to crack them open in that feeling. And sometimes it just seems like people are like, no, I like it because it's an enigma. I don't want it to be answered. I want to be able to tell this enigma story to my grandkids, and if I solve it, I won't be able to tell. I'll waste all the time developing the story.